Good morning, Mid-Michigan and surrounding areas. Scott here again this morning with Continuous Miracle right here on WGLM 1063. We're glad you're here. This morning's broadcast is going to include a special guest with us, Mr. John Kroneck. Some of you, I'm sure, are familiar with him. You're involved in the recovery community. If not, you're about to become familiar with him. John's been active in the recovery community in Montcalm County for about 40 years, I guess. That's
give or take.
That's a pretty good run, sir.
Recovery and prevention. So
right.
I didn't get prevention right, so I had to do recovery too.
Well, it all counts nowadays. We got co-host Mike with us here this morning.
Hey, good morning, folks. John's an old friend of mine from years ago before we either got involved in this. We played basketball. And I was wondering this morning, how could a guy that young be retiring?
Only 38. I don't know.
Right.
Jack Benny's got nothing on you.
Well, he's been working for those 40 years.
Yeah, all of
that
them.
part. That's how you get to retirement. So, Danger's Darren with us again, and we're blessed today. We have our producer, actually, the lovely Cara, is in here with us, who's going to take over for Darren. Dangerous. He's got to hit the road here in a minute. So she's going to run the dials for us today, and we're grateful you're here, my dear.
Good morning. I'll try.
Well, we know. So, yeah, John, like I mentioned, you've been involved with this community for 40 years in the Montcalm area. And I understand, much like myself, I've been a part of and seen so much phenomenal growth within our recovery community. And I know we don't like to highlight one person, but sir, you have been instrumental in that with your perseverance, your persistence, and your various tasks that you've undertaken over the 40 years. So I want to thank you for your service.
That's very kind. Very
to
kind.
the recovery community as a whole.
Yeah, very kind, but it's not one person. Yeah.
Oh, we know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to say that we do highlight people on this show that are doing stuff in the recovery community.
That's true.
But we don't try to point out that they're the only ones involved. They're just part of the whole.
Well, by no means is this a one-person operation. No. But
No.
you've been involved with it for quite some time, and we want to acknowledge your service.
Well, I do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Because I think a lot of lives probably have been extended as a result of a lot of your efforts. And I lose sight of that stuff sometimes. So when I see somebody else who's had that kind of impact, I like to point that out. So
Thank you.
It's worthy,
Thank you.
worthwhile endeavor.
Well, a bad day is when you're working with people who are trying to make a positive difference in the world. Yeah, it's been a great career.
It's kind of hard to have a bad day when you're working with
Exactly.
people trying to do good and be good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get a chance to do that occasionally too. I understand it. Today I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhat a little bit different about John. Most of our guests have been through the ringer to get
Yeah.
to the point.
Right.
But you didn't quite have to go the same route as us, John. I'm grateful that you're here helping, chipping away like you do at things.
Well, I appreciate that too. But when I went into college, I said, "What am I going to do?" And wellness really was at the time. But at that time, it was like people didn't know what wellness was, and so
I'm still curious.
Well, we need an explanation then.
Yeah.
and so the closest thing that I found was prevention or public health education, basically, and that led me into the prevention field here. So it's about where's the positive, where is the part where people are moving forward in a direction, and we gather a few people and we say, what's important in your life, what's going on, and they generate ideas, and I say, how can I help? And so sometimes it's organizational stuff, sometimes it's, but we want the community, the people here to be successful. Because when I go away, I want people to say, who was that guy? What did he do? It doesn't seem like anything's missing.
It's going to be like that, though. Because they go, oh, yeah, I remember him. Yeah, it's kind of how that works, but it doesn't work that way unless a lot of energy and effort is expended in the process.
Yeah.
So if there wasn't a lot known about wellness and some prevention, who were the players 40 years ago, so to speak?
Yeah, what did that look like? When
There
you
wasn't a
went
Mac.
there?
There wasn't whatever.
Oh, no.
Somebody must have had an idea somewhere.
We didn't. When I first started in prevention, we didn't have a recovery community except for AA. And I don't even think NA was popular at that time. So,
Not 40 years ago.
yeah.
No.
So it was just we had AA groups, and they met here and there in the county, and that was about it for recovery. Yeah. And so the commissioners, they formed this thing called the Substance Use Disorder Advisory Council. And the Substance Use Advisory Council said, we should have a prevention coalition. And so Drug Free Montcalm was born because the people of Sudak said this is important. So we helped that come to pass. And then after that, we said, well, we could use something in recovery. And so the Recovery and Integrated Services of Care, what we call RISC, that was born. And I believe Cara was a part of that initially for getting us going. Yes.
Well, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for your service, young lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how much service I was, but I tried again. I do what I can, right?
You still are.
And then the RISC, after a year or two, they said, we need an Alano Club here. And the MAC was born. Right? In the meantime, Judge Krieger was looking at the Eighth Circuit Court and saying, they have this thing that's starting around called a drug court. And so she started a drug court, which then changed its name to Adult Recovery Court, because it's not about drugs, it's about recovery.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah. And out of that then came the Ionia Montcalm, what started out as Families Against Narcotics, but now is Face Addiction Now. I Am FAN. So all of these places started to grow and to come forth. And then the latest one is we were at a fan meeting, and we had Robert and Heidi Wolthuis come, and they said, there's nothing for people to do except go to the bar if they want to have fun. And so we said, well, we could do something. And they checked it out, and they started a Friday night event, sober event. And they did that for a little while, and then they got someone donated a church for them to use over in Fenwick. And when they moved there, then they started doing counseling sessions. They started doing groups. And so now we have Outreach 419. The Montcalm and Ionia area, but Montcalm in particular, with all the different things we've got going, is one of the most dynamic places in the state of Michigan for around recovery. And it's people stepping up. There's no way any individual could do this on their own. This is a group here, a group there, and people saying, this is important in my life. And the I Am FAN right now on July 26th is having a family fun day, because it's more than just the person in recovery. It's their families and reconnecting with everybody. So there's lots of things, ideas generating, and you just encourage, and people like to run with things.
Yeah, and you don't need to have a family to come to Family Fun Day.
No.
Just show up.
Yep.
They got something to get a plate of food and have some fellowship with some folks.
And that's something
and do
about
something fun.
Yeah. That's something about Outreach 419. There's always food. Always food.
Bonus.
Exactly. And in fact, it's such a positive, reinforcing area, and it's people recognizing each other, acknowledging each other, supporting each other. We have people that are not in recovery that go to Outreach 419 because it's such a strong, positive place to be.
Yeah.
And
there's growth to be had there.
Yep.
Whether you're, I've seen some people with some grief issues go out that way and have some conversations and work through some stuff out there and come out better for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. You mentioned Montcalm County is kind of dynamic statewide as of right now. I travel a good bit, and That's been acknowledged over in the southwest corner and the southeast corner of the states, and people are curious about,
Oh.
some of the things that we've done over this way. So,
I didn't realize how much so until we went to the seminar,
right,
to the Big Rapids at Cameron.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
how many
okay.
other groups were there, just kind of amazed at the different things that we've got going on here, and
Right.
ready to learn and
Yeah.
implement programs on their own. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you go on the Cameron's website, they have video stories about people. And at one time they had 12 stories, and so people would say 8 or 9 of them were people in Montcalm County,
Yeah.
out of a 4-county area. It's like, it's a good place to be.
It's a good
That's
place.
people having an impact.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and we get to be a part of all that.
Yep.
And that's why this radio show is on, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, we just
Let
Kinda.
people know the good things that's going
People
on.
know there's good stuff going on. I thought about changing the name to the Good News Network.
There we go.
I think Tank took that at the gas station.
Oh, he can have it. He probably got to it first.
Yeah.
But-
Continuous Miracle's good.
Yeah, that
I
too.
like that one. It's
Yeah.
fitting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because it is, and we get to be a part of all that.
Yep.
And
It's
there's
a-
so many people, like you mentioned, involved in this recovery community. That's why we do what we do. People got a chance to get better here, and anywhere you may be. But it seems like some dynamic growth that's taking place right here in Montcalm County, and we're grateful we can be a part of it.
I've noted some great growth in myself. Well, I started out here, but because of the support network, I've been able to really grow in knowledge and understanding. And some of it spilled over into my work as a recovery coach, working out of the jail in White Cloud.
Yep. I mean, just people have an opportunity, we tend to take it,
Yeah,
right? I mean, look at the MAC. With a little support, they're over 20 meetings, maybe 28 meetings a week
Right.
over there. And it's like, what other L&O club do we know of that has that many in such a small community?
They
and
just don't-
focused on recovery too.
Yeah.
The meetings they're very intentional. They're not just jaw-jacking in there. They're talking about turning lives around.
Yes.
And it's amazing some of the growth you get to bear witness to
Yeah.
over time, and sometimes be a part of. It's fascinating.
Yeah. And like I say, a bad day is when you're around people that are, yes.
Yeah. What's next, people?
That's
Yeah.
right.
What's next? Let's try that.
Yeah, speaking of what next, somebody, John was
Oh,
talking
get ready.
about gathering
Get the
ideas.
button.
Oh, wait a minute, no, calm
Okay,
down, Mike.
all right.
I gotta learn that one.
Yeah. When Mike's talking, we got to worry about that stuff.
Right.
But really, what I was going to say was that we need ideas. John was talking about gathering ideas, finding out what's needed. Well,
Right.
our listening audience probably got some pretty good ideas. Help us. Let us know a few things, please.
Yeah, some feedback from our audience would be wonderful.
Where do they send it?
They can send it. They can text it to 616-754-1063. They can call 616-754-1063. Our webpage is always taking comments at continuousmiracle.net. We're also up on Facebook Live today, I'm told, and hopefully, yeah, and YouTube, and that'll be posted. When's that posted, Darren?
I'm not sure at this point.
Okay, Darren. That's
Usually on top of it.
Usually Darren has an answer. Yeah, today's not that day, but it'll be up on YouTube in the next day or two. Continuous Miracle. Just put that in your toolbar, and it'll pop right up for you. So how's that for outreach?
Yeah. I like that.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking I wasn't the only one that noticed that.
You might even be at the
Yep.
Family Fun Day, huh?
Yeah, I'd love to be. What's that, 26? Yeah, that's going to be Saturday, July 26th from 9 a.m. to noon. And we'll put this up on our webpage, 5469 Long Lake Road, Belden, Michigan. we'll give that date and time and address out again before the show's out. But that'll be a fun day for all of us. Maybe we can get me and Mike out there and visit with some of you folks that want to.
I'd love that.
Fun days. That sounds like fun.
It does.
You know. Well, Kara's she's got different moves than Darren. I like that. Do that again. Oh, that I like. She's telling me we're going to a break whether I like it or not. So come on back and join us after these commercials. We're glad you're here. We are too.
Okay, so what'd you have to do?
All I had to do was hit play up
Go in
there,
there, turn these mics off,
turn the mics off, and
and the
slide that
background
back
music
up.
up. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it'll play the breaks, and then
It'll
pop
play the
these guys
breaks.
up,
Yeah.
put that down, and just go again.
Yeah.
Okay. They like
you
to
didn't-
break your legs thing.
You
I
didn't pull
liked
anything
it.
down.
Got my attention.
The Hillcrest
pull anything
Community
down, did you?
Church on 18
No,
Mile
I-
Road
potted that one
northeast
up.
in
Pulled that
Cedar
one up.
Springs. We'll have a
But
giving
these you just left
closet
alone.
Sundays,
At those
11
levels,
a.m.
Yep,
to
I
2
just left them
p.m.
up.
Okay,
Free
cool.
clothes,
Thank you.
shoes, and hats available
Jonesy,
for all
get your
ages.
butt out
Bags,
here, you
scarves,
jerkwad.
and
Come
other
on, you're very
accessories,
distracting.
too.
got any
Absolutely
highlights
free.
on
Come
At
on,
the
Jonesy.
Hillcrest Community
Are you
Church
bailing now?
in Cedar Springs.
Got
Back
one
with you
night.
20
I'm not sure yet.
On M1063
You
and
got the Montclair
1380.
Prevention Collaborative.
It's your baby.
And we have drug take back days.
Sports on Jason Walker.
And we have
In
permanent
Carl
drop-offs.
and Jones are your best
Oklahoma
friends.
City Thunder
Okay.
and
We
You're
have
kind of a
Narcan
infringer of
Narcan
things.
distribution
I'm
for
Game
first aid
2
kits.
Kind of
finals. That's coming up.
Whatever his
Yeah.
mood is.
Going through all the
Right.
levels.
Like if you're coming to the end
And
of
we have
a
vending machines.
conversation, and if it's not right at the 20, we might as well break it, right?
Yep.
Edmonton Oilers
I'm
and
giving him
Florida
food. He's getting
Panthers,
food.
and they're
Oh,
all tied
okay.
at one game apiece. Game 3 is coming up Monday
These are
night in
professional.
Sunrise,
Okay.
Florida.
These are what the,
Kentucky
where the
Derby
vending
winner
machines are
Sovereignty
located.
winning
Okay.
the
And then
Belmont
other
Stakes
partners that
yesterday.
we
Preakness
haven't
winner
discussed
Journalist
that are part of it.
President Trump
we wanna
last
bring
night
that
walked
in.
into a thunderous standing
And
ovation
that
just
goes
ahead
back
of
to
the
all the
USA
vibrancy of
Open
our
card
recovery
at
community.
the
Yeah,
I think
Prudential
everybody's
Center
good.
in Newark,
Okay.
New Jersey, to watch
People-oriented
the
programs
fierce
are all
battles
people
in the
out.
Now
chaos.
you're let me
I'm
sit.
gonna let you
SRN
to
Sports.
Let me
this
sit
one.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's a WGLM Weather Center update.
Mostly sunny skies for your
throne now.
Sundays, like chances of some late
said
afternoon
Queen
showers,
Cara.
a high of
I didn't like it.
Cloudy skies, showers, possibly a thunderstorm overnight
Queen
tonight,
Cara.
a low of 52. Mostly sunny
Something will
today
come
on
to me,
Monday and
don't worry.
breezy, a high of 73. Wind gusts on
Nope.
Monday.
I hope it's good
up
for a
to 30
change.
miles an hour. Cloudy skies, continued breezy overnight Monday night, slight chance
I
of
know you have a lot of
showers
ideas.
again.
10 seconds.
50. Mostly sunny
What I
today
do
on
is
Tuesday,
ideas.
a high of
The
70.
flyer there.
Now, more of the music you love on WGLM.
You don't need to do anything there. Get ready to turn their mics on and pull down the sound.
Hey, welcome back to Continuous Miracle right here, WGLM 106.3, and we're glad you're here. Yeah, it looks good, right? Looks like Cara's got a handle on this thing. Good for us. We were talking during the break here with John, and Mike was doing most of the talking as usual. You all right over there?
I'll settle down.
Okay. But that's why he's here.
I got questions about this eventually too.
I know you do, and that's why we're here. Make sure folks get the right information. So anyway, back to John now, and some of the things that have taken place within the recovery community, Montcalm County in particular. I know we've got some collaboratives going on, and some of the things that you've been helped be a part of, because this is all people-driven stuff.
Yeah.
And the consortiums and things like that. And there's so many of them, and then trying to pull all that together
Yeah.
with the different folks and all the different personalities. Well, first of all, it's kind of fun, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. And you mentioned before you enjoy people and especially people working towards a primary purpose.
Right.
You know, all coming from different different angles, I guess you'd call it, into the recovery community.
You get to learn about people, where people are at, and
And the convergence of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's big stuff. That's big picture stuff. Some of these things that we was looking at here, go ahead and let us know a little bit about these. What's
Well,
happening?
Just want to step back and talk about the I Am Fan Family Fun Day. It's July 26th, but then that's going to be followed in September 13th with the Soberfest. And we've done that every year as well. And one of the things that's happened that's new this year is our website that is basically a no wrong door for recovery. And it's called montcalmrecoveryresources.com. Again, montcalmrecoveryresources.com. Go there, and there should be anything you want to know about recovery in our area should be on that, including treatment, including prevention, including where meetings are held, etc., etc. So that website is a real piece that we're real pleased to have the infrastructure to help people go with. RISC has a meeting pamphlet that's on the recovery website, but also can be available to have to put on your board, your poster board. They also have a monthly communique newsletter that goes out. So if you want to be on either of those mailing lists, you can get a hold of me through the radio station here, and just need an email address and a name, and we can do that. And a phone number is helpful because if I put in the wrong address, I have someone to call.
Right. So that's all available. Give us that website again.
montcalmrecoveryresources.com. Yep. And
I call that pretty resource rich, my friend.
well, it's dynamic. It really is. And like I said, it's not just one. It's not just the risk group. It's not just the L&O Club. It's not just the fan piece.
Well, it can't be.
No. So we have the Outreach 419, which is just blossoming in the last 6 months. And we have the Montcalm Prevention Collaborative. They have been doing things that are pretty dynamic as well. They have drug take-back days. They have about 4 or 5 of them during the summertime. And it's tied in with the National Drug Enforcement Take-Back Days. But then we have local supporters. For example, we've been at Corwell Health. We're going to be at Sheridan Hospital. We were just at Carson City Frontier Days. Who's the other ones? We're going to be up in Edmore for the Potato Festival.
Oh, don't miss that one.
Dizzy Days. Yep, Stump Festival, Truefront, Dizzy Days.
Well, I'm not sure we'll be there for that weekend.
Stanton, I bet you will be.
I should have brought the list, but we can only do so many. But we pick and choose and try and vary it each year to different parts of the county.
Oh,
But
nice.
that's all the outreach and that's taking place because of we can do that today.
Yep.
Like you said, years ago we had meetings in church basements and that was it. And today we go to a public event and there sits a recovery group.
Bring in your medications and
Yep.
drugs, and we can recycle them. In addition to going to events to do that, we have placed, or the Montcalm Prevention Collaborative has placed, permanent Dropbox collector sites in all of the law enforcement agencies. So in Greenville, you can go into the lobby of the public safety, and there's a red box there. You can put your medications in there. Same thing for Stanton, same thing for Edmore. They don't have the law enforcement right now, but Howard City, Lakeview, all of them.
Pretty much any
Yep. So
sheriff's department or
it's handy.
city.
We don't have to keep it in the medicine cabinet for 6 months waiting for the next take-back day. You can just take them down to the office there. And then there's sharps containers. Needles, right? What do you do with your needles? Well, we have containers, and people can go to the health department and do that, or check your local hospital. They may collect sharps too and offer you some a new sharp container in that way. And one of the most dynamic things that we've been doing is when we were at the take-back days, we had Narcan there. And we'd say, would you like some Narcan? They say, no, I don't need that. I don't need that stuff.
How do you know?
Exactly. I said, do you have grandchildren? Yeah, but they don't. Do you have neighbors? Yeah, but they're so there's a stigma about that. So Krista Merritt said, what would happen if we put them in first aid kits, the Narcan in first aid kits, because it's a first aid tool.
Yeah,
So we said,
save a life.
let's try that. And right now, we have first aid kits being distributed through all 8 public libraries in the county. So even though Montcalm is the 5th largest geographical county in the state, we have it all covered through the library system.
So anybody can just walk into the local library here
Yep.
and say, I heard you have some first aid kits available.
Yep.
And they'll be provided with one, correct?
Exactly.
I'm doing that correctly, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I have to give a shout out to the Gathering Place, a volunteer group here in Greenville, because you can imagine if you have 600 first aid kits and 600 packs of Narcan, that's a lot of office time to put. But so the Gathering Place said, we'll do it. And there's a group of volunteers that puts the Narcan into the first aid kits, and then we can distribute them. So thank you for the Gathering Place.
So we're back to people driven.
People driven, that's
The
right.
whole recovery community is people driven.
Exactly.
So, about the Gathering Place, I'm not really familiar with it, but it doesn't sound like the MAC or an AA meeting. It
No.
sounds like just people who want to help in the community.
Yep. In fact, they told us, they said, we don't want to be in charge of any project, but we want to help people who have projects. So,
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great resource for who we've got here.
That's you talking about being around people, helping people. You can't help but have a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you still can.
Oh, okay.
Do as you damn well please.
Yeah.
You want to have a bad day, go have one.
In addition to all of this, we have vending machines in the county.
Right.
And the vending machines have Narcan in them. Some of them have fentanyl test strips. So, it's harm reduction is what we're starting to talk about. So if I want to test my drug that I'm about to use, I can go get a fentanyl first aid test, and I can do that and see if there's fentanyl in my drug, if it's been laced with fentanyl. So that's available in some of these first aid, the vending machines.
Yeah, there was an article I read this past week about fentanyl was whatever mixed in with some stuff.
Yep.
And
Even cannabis. It's
it
mixed
was a
in with
bad
cannabis.
week for a lot of people.
Yeah.
According to some numbers they were putting out.
Yep.
Got to be careful out there, folks.
So we have vending machines actually at the jail, at the entrance of the jail up there. You can go and get it. And I say vending machine because it's a vending machine, but you don't have to pay for it. You can just press the
free of
buttons and
charge.
boom, right? Cherry Health Clinic here in Greenville has a vending machine, and that's outside their building there. Randy's house has a vending machine, or soon will, but I think they have it now. Corwell in Greenville has a vending machine from.
Up here at the hospital?
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Urgent Care had it. I looked at it
Urgent
a
Care.
month or so ago.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Do you have all the sources listed on the website on the Montcalm recovery? Or I'm sure you're updating all the time.
Well, actually, it's not my project, so we'll have to double check with
Okay.
that because Robert from Outreach 419, he's got some talent with technology, and he put together the website, and it's a kind of fun website just to go and see what it's there.
He comes in, so I'll ask him.
Well,
Okay.
the information is getting out there then. I mean, it's
Yeah.
available if you're looking for it.
Yep.
It's being made available.
Yep.
And like you're going back to what it was 40 years ago to what we're doing today, normalizing and talking about things out loud, reducing that stigma, and making it okay.
Yeah. And these are the ones.
And make it okay to want to get better.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't hurt.
What we've just gone through this list of agencies and organizations that are involved in doing stuff. There are others who are behind the scenes.
But wait, there's more.
Yes. we mentioned the Adult Recovery Court. They've been more than just saying yes, yes. They're helping produce and support this process. The Montcalm Care Network. They are involved. They're particularly with the Narcan pieces. Mid-Michigan District Health Department, we've been engaged with that. The ISD, they're part of the prevention collaborative, helping them be successful with that. Plus, the youth in the schools, because one of the things Prevention Collaborative does is we have youth groups throughout the county.
And we're educating young people as to some of the dangers and
Yep.
and things of that nature. And I think that's part of the prevention piece.
Yes.
If we can get some education out there at an earlier age, the better.
And get into the whys quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and raise that awareness, which is what we're trying to do right here today. When we can raise awareness about the issues and not only issues, but some of the solutions that have been discovered through a lot of hard work by a lot of people who you'll never meet or see, or you may, I don't know, but it's all going on to help people in the recovery community. And anybody else who wants to either be a part of, become a part of, it's available too. We're always looking for folks who want to come on out and try and do good and be good.
And I haven't finished the list yet.
Well, no, you're just getting started. So.
We have Mercy out there. My gosh, they're a key player in what's going on. There was an advertisement for Chemron just before we started this project, and that's the Central Montcalm Recovery Education Network. 4 counties, soon to be 6 counties in the area that are about promoting what we're doing in Montcalm County, basically.
Yeah, the 2 counties coming on board are Isabella.
They're trying to bring Isabella.
And
Nuevo, maybe?
Nuevo's already. Ionia is the other one coming on.
Okay, so Isabella and Ionia.
Yep. And then we haven't even talked about the local treatment agencies who are also engaged. North Kent Guidance, Samaritas, on and on it goes. So when we say when I say this is about community thing, and all are engaged in helping and working together, I didn't want to just say, okay, we have 3 people out here. No, we've got a whole community ready to roll here.
You step back and look, there's hundreds of people involved in the recovery community all out here trying to improve lives and make opportunities available for folks to improve their lives.
And then I haven't mentioned even Continuous Miracle.
We're bumping along trying to make sure you folks understand what's happening out here.
But it's part of the information system, part of the connection with one another, right? It's like you guys are playing a key role in that. So everyone does a little bit, and it turns into a whole lot.
We're having some fun with this, aren't we, Mike?
I'm having a ball.
I was going to say, I know Mike's enjoying himself. He gets out there bumping around a little bit. Next thing you know, he's reporting back with all kinds of stories and ideas about.
I like his questions.
Yeah. Well, I'm a boots on the ground kind of a guy. I make a lot of meetings and interact with an awful lot of people, and I see it. I see the people that's getting the help. I don't necessarily see all the agencies involved. I'm grateful I get an opportunity to hear this stuff. But I can report back about what the people that are receiving this help.
You're the front lines guy.
Yeah. And it's a pretty interesting place. And they like the way I make a cake, so there's that stuff.
There's that. We got Mikey Crocker here.
Bobby Crocker,
he doesn't show up in a meeting without a cake under his arm.
Next time I'm here pushing buttons, I expect cake.
Yeah, there's actually a
that.
reason we tell Mike to keep coming back.
I have goals now.
Yeah, and that's just some of the fun we have along the way. Trying to facilitate some of the things that we do in the recovery community. What a blessing. We have an opportunity, things we get to do today as compared to, previously.
I took a suggestion about cake from one of them alcoholics the other day. So we don't always have to have frosting on a cake. Couldn't we have jam on it? Cherry jam. Now, doesn't that sound good, Cara?
Sounds really good.
It was good. The things I'm learning.
Yeah, it's like a jelly roll thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jelly roll.
Yeah.
See, I got somebody's attention.
Yeah, I got
Program of attraction.
Program of attraction.
We do what we can with what we got to work with.
With regularity.
And she's telling me to not keep talking so much because we've only got so much time left.
No, I'm saying because I'm hungry.
Oh, okay. There's one more mistake I made. I'll see if I can improve on that.
Car in come flying in here this morning to help us out. So thank you again, my dear.
Of course, thank you.
Present and available, we call that. And there she was. So
I appreciate that.
yeah, everybody doing their part. That's what it looks like. So we're gonna take a little break here. She's not breaking it over her leg, but she's doing something different, and I got to pay attention to what that is. So we're gonna take a little break. We'll come back and join you all here in a minute. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
I just feel like
job.
if we're getting towards the end of a conversation, we might as well go to break, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of thinking, instead of trying to force it till exactly the right
No,
40-second type thing.
Mike, you had questions on the event?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's been years since I milked a cow,
Series action on sister station,
and they're kind of using that as an attraction. Come milk our cow.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
it's a milking station.
Oh.
It's not actually milking a cow. That's kind of dangerous. For kids.
Well, because I'm familiar with the bucket getting kicked over, and them cows have a tendency to defecate and stuff like that.
Oh man,
We have seen
I gotta go.
You bringing all the highlights?
So are we playing like poop plop bingo thing
That
or something
one.
like that?
Where are my
Shit.
Speaking of poop plop bingo, if you ever need to dump Mike,
Oh, right there.
press that button.
It's just Mike that has to be dumped, huh?
Mike's
usual culprit?
usually the offender.
Yeah, there you go. I got them words.
While you're here, take along my friends.
We can
too.
open
the
that
annuals,
with that if you
petunias, begonias, the whole
I don't
gang.
know if I should
2
mention
seasons been
Stacy.
good to me,
I thought
but I
about
want
it.
some new
I wanted she
scenery,
didn't come on the
and
show.
so do you.
Oh.
Come to 2 Seasons
She was,
Greenhouse.
she was a
Dig it?
speaker at
It's a
Fountain.
WGLN
I love
Weather
that
Center
commercial.
update.
Mostly
Dig
sunny
it.
skies
I'm a
for
flower.
Sunday, slight chance of some
Cool.
good
Used to
afternoon
live in my
showers and a
cabin.
high of 76.
You used to live in your cabin?
Cloudy skies, showers, possibly a
What's the
thunderstorm
story?
overnight tonight, a low of 52. Mostly sunny for the day on Monday and breezy, a
Did
high
you
of
tell him
73.
about
Wind
Holly?
gusts on Monday could reach 30 miles an
His
hour.
wife had a lot to
Cloudy
do with
skies, continued breezy overnight Monday night, slight chance of some showers once again, a low of
Excellent,
50. Mostly sunny for
Well,
the day
that'll
on
be fun to
Tuesday,
have
a
for
high
you
of
then.
70.
God,
Now,
guys working
more of the
real
music you love on WGLM.
A recovery ecosystem is an evidence-based approach
This is
that
Kim, right?
creates the environment
Yeah.
that individuals and families need by providing all the necessary
Telling
tools,
us to say it, we
services,
damn
and
well
supports for recovery to occur.
Yeah, we
Cameron
do.
FSU aims to build a sustainable, regional recovery ecosystem
What time is
Thirty
it?
through
seconds.
collaborative
22.
efforts with
We
a
got
focus on
20
4
minutes.
populations: veterans,
She'll tell
homeless,
us, don't worry.
unhoused,
Just keep talking.
pregnant, and recently incarcerated.
Yeah, you're good. As soon as you hear me or see me go like that, then you're on the
You chime in whenever you like. You know about risk.
A little bit.
That's right. You know
I bet on
about
both ends.
it. You know about it. That's knowing about it.
Ready, 5 seconds. Until it goes back to this rejoinder music thing.
You got to point at me like that.
Okay.
Use the index finger too.
I respond accordingly. Scott back here with you on Continuous Miracle. We're glad you're here. Mike and John here again this morning, and we got Cara on the dials, which she seems to be getting along just fine over here, like she knew what she was doing.
She's not upsetting me any, so just right.
Well, nothing upsets you, does it, these days?
Not that I know of, but I'll let you know.
I'll have to put that on my to-do list.
Yeah. Well, I want to listen to that show.
So yeah, still when we're talking with John, back here and talking to him at break, the things coming forward in the recovery community with all these wonderful organizations and the treatment centers, and it's amazing to me, and I'm amazed frequently because I pay attention these days, but all the things that are available to us in the recovery community. We had a gentleman on last 2 weeks, and spoke to us about guiding light. If a person is willing, they have a 90-day program, which turns into a 6-month program, absolutely free to anybody in this state.
Wow. Nice.
So that was an amazing fact for me to find out. If you need to get a start, need some treatment, doesn't cost a dime.
It said the only requirement was some willingness.
Yeah, willingness on the participants' part.
That might be nice for our adult recovery court to know about.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
if you've got information, let's get it to them.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's a barrier too. You know, it's like, well, I can't afford it.
Right.
So
Yeah, oh,
that's
it's one of the
they,
first
you know, one of the
things,
excuses
and
and
then, yep. And
Which
then,
brings up
I-
another dynamic that I haven't mentioned. It's
I
like
don't
so much.
understand.
We have recovery coaches throughout the county, and they play many different roles. And we have Glenn Tyson is somebody who, if you need a ride, he's probably the one that's coming to get you.
Glenn and his wife were at the
And Ann
Yeah.
as well.
at Cameron. Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
at the
awesome.
Cameron,
Yep.
symposium.
And there are others who that say, if someone needs a ride, let me know. I'll go get them.
I think Glenn told me he's driven around the planet twice,
I bet he has.
At least twice.
according to his speedometer.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he goes.
Speedometers.
Sometimes he goes and picks someone up to do a blues cruise, where they just drive around and listen to some blues music and talk.
And whatever they need, I
Yep.
think he's there for them.
Exactly.
And
So
that's
we
part
are
of
so
the meet
rich.
you where you are. Now.
Yep.
Yeah. So
If you're
hats off
looking,
to
don't
them.
feel alone. Is really what it comes down to.
Exactly.
I'm not, if I was paying attention, he's at Hippie Fest up by Truefit right now.
He is.
Sober.
He and Ann are
Yep.
hippie fest people. And
Well, who isn't? I'm looking at a couple of them.
groovy, man.
Right on, bro. We're going to
Just
change
like
the world. We're going to change the world. And we did.
Like what's on your shirt, even.
Oh yeah.
Give peace a chance.
John Lennon said something.
I know who I'm looking at. Good for the folks out at Hippie Fest out there getting their groove on this weekend. True Font,
Heck yeah.
home of the Jubilee.
You know it.
Don't forget that.
And the
Stump
poop,
Fence Jubilee.
and the poop plop. They got something going on there.
The cow milking station with the
Yeah.
petting zoo.
Well,
It's
Yeah.
all going to be happening out that
we're
way.
making tie-ins here.
Yeah.
So at the Family Fun Day on July 26th, we have lots and lots of different activities going on. And Cara was just pointing out the one that said petting zoo and cow milking station. Well, it's not actually milking a cow.
Darn.
It's a facsimile. So my
you have to-
8-year-old.
Do I get to
No,
pull?
I was going to say, no, I don't have to dump the button. I can say utter tugging if I want to.
Okay.
We can put on a show.
No, the cows are.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
So it's safe for my 8-year-old to go up to the cow milking station. Yes.
They do kind of make a mess too, so.
Yeah. But there's going to be face painting there. We're going to have a fishing pond, and we've already got the fishing poles. They're all ready to go. There will be family yoga on the lawn for those who are interested in doing that. We'll have balloon animals. So come and get that. And then some yard games such as ring toss and so forth. And
Ooh, water slide.
a water slide.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So,
Added value right there.
yep. And we'll have towels.
And free
just
food?
in case.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's always food.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
When is that? Where is that? Is that at the I Am Fan Building?
No, it's at 5469 Long Lake Road in Belding, and so this is an example of how the community comes together. This gentleman, it's his property,
Okay.
and he said, I've got a lot of space here, and we could do a sober event. So last year we held a sober event there. Now I Am Fan said, well, where can we do this? And he said, sure, come on in.
Nice.
I've got electricity wired, and I got to do it all. And so,
And water, evidently, because he's
Yeah.
got a water slide, so.
yeah,
We are on Long
going.
Lake Road.
I'm
I'm
hoping
going.
there's water in the fish pond too.
yeah.
But that's just one of the things that we have coming up here for the recovery community.
Yes. Yeah.
And,
And their families.
Yeah, or anybody who wants to attend.
Exactly.
Anybody available to anyone out there in
And,
the
and
public.
we didn't mention the live music and sing along.
And touch a truck. There's a lot going on. That's really cool.
Yep, we should have fire trucks, police cars, so you can get in and see what it's like. And kids really love being in the police cars and seeing.
I've
how-
seen what it was like the
Fire
back
trucks,
seat.
yeah. Oh,
Oh yeah, that part.
we don't want to talk about that. I mean, we can if you want to.
That's
Hey,
sort of what
was
got
that-
me here.
Was that not your best day?
It was night, but it wasn't my best day, no sir.
So
Just checking.
Yeah, it was the Reed City treatment center. They call it the jail. And they let you dry out overnight. I know about that stuff.
Well, we need those places too.
Yes, sir. They pointed me in the right direction.
Another service.
Yes, sir. Grateful for that.
Volunteers.
Yep. So we know how many bananas to get. If you can register, that would be great.
Okay. So, yeah, if you come on that website, what is that website again?
The website is montcalmrecoveryresources.com.
You jump on there, register for the Family Fun Day.
Yep.
And come on out.
Yep.
On Saturday, July 26th, 5469 Long Lake Road out in Belding.
Yep, and it should be a good day. Should be a very good day. The webpage also has what's going on at the MAC and who's the Saturday speaker for the third Saturday of the month.
Hey,
and
who
what's
is that? Hold on.
Oh, it might be me this month.
Oh! Wow.
We got a potluck lined up at 6, and I'm going to start talking about stuff at 7. So.
Is there cake?
I'll bring a cake, but we got a fella named Bob that says he's making a blueberry pie from scratch.
Ooh.
And I love a nice homemade pie.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Come on out on Wednesday on that one, Mike?
28th of this month.
28th of this month, Mike's going to be the featured speaker at the MAC.
Yes.
So come on down, and they got a potluck at 6. And Mike's going to get up and talk a little about himself at 7. Tell you a little about his experience, strength, and hope. So,
Yeah,
be a
folks,
fun
the
event.
world has opened up since Continuous Miracle went on the air. I got a couple things to tell you about that.
It's been interesting, hasn't it? And continues to be. We're having some fun with it, too. Hope you're enjoying it as well. Because this is about you, not us. We like to keep it that way. So, John.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about these folks here.
The other partners that we talked about?
Please.
Well, they're organizations that are involved with the Montcalm recovery, but they're not the ones who are the RISC, the MAC, the Outreach 419.
But these are all supports behind the scenes,
right,
correct?
Right. So the
'Cause there's
Adult Recovery Court, sometimes participants need to have so many meetings a week. They say, yes, you can go to Outreach 419. You can go to the Family Fun Day. So the Adult Recovery Court is supporting the community as well. It's not just off into the side there, but
And that's
people,
the thing that Judge Krieger
yes,
helped constitute
yes,
in District 8
yep.
area.
And so that's Ionia and Montcalm.
And it's been modeled throughout the state.
Yeah, as we saw the ChemRun, the Central Michigan Recovery Education Network, acronyms, man. That would they. Okay, I lost my train of thought.
I didn't. I know that Judge Krieger was a catalyst in a lot of that stuff that's being modeled across the state now in various district courts. And we just happen to be in the forefront of some of that stuff here in Montcalm County.
That's what made me think about Nuevo, is because the judge from Nuevo was there trying to gather information. And
yes, she was. Yeah.
Yep. And that's what I was going to say. The Adult Recovery Court from Ionia Montcalm was up at the ChemRun, and they were the featured speaker.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Judge Krieger; it was everybody who was involved with that.
Right.
So it was a really dynamic aspect.
Well, it's all people driven. But,
9 people on the panel, and 8 were part of the Adult Recovery Court.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed.
Yep.
So people taking action and making a difference.
When we say other partners that we're talking about, it's not like they're just sitting back and collecting kudos. No, they're out. They're engaged as well.
They're working every day.
Yes. Yes. They're playing pieces
on behalf of folks like us.
Yep. Yeah. Key roles, but we only had an hour, so we had to kind of focus on the ones.
Kind of like the radio show.
Yeah. Exactly.
What else we got here? Montcalm Care Network.
The Montcalm Care Network is our mental health services, and they are involved with a lot of the organizations we've been talking about. They're key players. They have the Narcan that they help to put into the first aid kits that we distribute. So Mid-Michigan District Health Department, with our prevention services, we service the recovery community as well, which has been my role to do that. And it's
That's the educational piece, right?
And helping these organizations function.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we need? We need bylaws. Okay, here's a sample bylaws. What do you think? And people make the choices. We need a board. Okay, and who's our chairperson? Okay, Glenn, you're our chairperson. Here's the agenda. Go run with it.
Right.
You know, and then the local treatment agencies, they're also involved with many of these organizations, and it's all of us.
Yeah, and it's all these connections that have been made.
Yes.
That are making this thing blossom into what it's becoming as far as putting an umbrella over the whole recovery community in this area.
The
It's
whole
understandable why people would like to, or are curious
Right.
in different parts of the state, want to know how and what we did here.
You know,
It appears to me all the agency, all the players that have some interest in people getting better are involved here, not just the substance use disorder recovery community. It's the whole community trying to help in any way they can is what I'm seeing here.
Right.
Montcalm in particular is a really interesting county, because if you go to Howard City, they're their own entity. If you go to Stanton, they're their own entity. And even Sheridan and Stanton, the same school district, but each is their own entity. They have their own personality and so forth. But then you look at it, and then you say, okay, the agencies, the organizations that form, they're all helping. They're all interconnected. So it's kind of like a
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Technology helped that a great deal, didn't it?
no.
Well, I mean, it
was-
takes face to face, but once
people say, "What are you doing in Montcalm that you get this?" I say, "Well, you ask, and people like to help, and when they've been asked to be part of it, they usually say yes, yes, we'll do that." And when they come in, they've got ideas and they generate and boom, 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 and so yeah, it's been a great run. So.
Well, we thank you for your service. I know you've been an instrumental part of a lot of this stuff.
Did you tell us who's your replacement?
We have my two staff people are going to share, because they're in schools in different classrooms. So when it gets into the community, they've also been involved a little bit, but they're going to take my roles in the community, and they're going to divide it up. And Krista Merritt used to be known as Krista Jerome, but she went and got married and became Merritt. At the same time, Adriana Brown got married, so it's like, I got to get out of here before it catches, you know.
We don't want that.
Your wife would be all upset with that.
I know. Man. So, like, Krista Merritt, Ada Brown are going to be the ones in the coalitions doing the work.
So you're telling me it's going to take two people to replace you?
Well, then there's a supervisor, so really three.
Yeah, of course.
Your humility is overwhelming, John.
I know.
I am just stunned again.
As you all should be.
Yes.
No, I know how much energy and time you're putting into all this, and that's what it's going to take to continue it. So I'm grateful for the new folks coming on board here for us in Montcalm County. And I'd like to get them on the show at some point, too.
Anna and Krista are go-getters. They're out there doing it.
Introduce them to the community.
And we've been turning them over the thing. So they actually are the ones who this month have been really running with the show. And I'm just kind of like sitting there trying to act like I know what I'm talking about it now.
So I'm hearing that you're taking credit for their actions now. Good man, John. That humble stuff.
Somebody's got
Keep
to.
it up.
Somebody's got to, yeah.
Let me consider this. Somebody gets to be that guy.
Yeah.
No.
Somebody has to step up.
But we just want to extend our gratitude to you, for all your efforts and trying to pull all this together. I know it's like herding cats, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, most of the time.
But
I can hardly believe he's going to be silent, though.
Yeah, no. I think we'll still find John bumping around the county road too. What do you call that other station we're on? Back roads, right?
roads,
There we go. We'll look for John out there.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do, because you look at all the organizations here, and they all say, well, are you going to stay with us, right? And it's like, okay, so if I'm staying with all of you, I'm working full time. Why am I retiring?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I'm just saying 3 to 6 months, no commitments.
Nice.
And then we'll see where my heart lies.
Sure.
We'll go from there.
One of the things you get to do as a result of all your previous activities.
Yeah.
Take that sabbatical or that 3 to 6 months on.
Go swimming.
Yeah.
Yes,
I like that.
Of course, I do have a state contract with on wellness to develop that, so I'll be doing that till end of September. So it'll be a gradual.
It'll be hanging on. It'll be fun to watch. We'll see what you do.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll run across each other along the way. So Cara's telling me we got to get going on this show. We've been doing a lot of talking, not a lot of listening here this morning. But again, I wanted to touch base with the listeners. If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to text at 616-754-1063. You can catch us on our webpage at continuousmiracle.net. Leave any comments or questions there or suggestions you may have. And or on the Facebook page or on the YouTube page that we're up on. Just go ahead and leave your comments, questions there. And we'll be sure to respond to them all in real time because that's what we do. And did you want to touch base on that website one more time?
MontcalmRecoveryResources.com.
Montcalm Recovery Resources.
Anything you want to know is there. It's worth it just checking it out.
Go take a look. We'll be back with you next week right here on Continuous Miracle. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. That was really nice.
Thank you. It was fun.
Turn the music
Appreciate it.
And then just it'll go to the
and
next
just
thing?
leave it, and it'll do its own thing.
Oh man, now I know what I'm doing.
Really?
Come off live.
You know what I mean? We're getting it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you, guys.